Right now, Cody Crowley, Josh Torres, tail of the tape. Crowley, again, 27 years old. Torres is 30. Crowley with the height advantage, 5'10 to 5'7. Reach advantage as well. Should be an evenly matched fight, though. Kind of anticipate that. See what Crowley has to offer here. Looking to stay unbeaten and continue his rise. Cody Crowley and Josh Torres getting ready to go in the ring. You can send it down right now and send it to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, Premier Boxing Champions presents the FS1 PBC Fight Night featured bout of the evening. Brought to you by Geico, MGM Resorts, and Brooklyn Boxing. Introducing our three judges, scoring from ringside, we have Sergio Cais, Don DeVergis, and Zachary Young. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled in a welterweight special attraction. Introducing to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the red corner. Wearing gray trunks with black trim, joining us from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He weighed in at 144.5 pounds. His record stands at 22 wins, 6 losses, and 2 draws, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Josh Pitbull Torres. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing maroon trunks with gold trim. Originally from Peterborough, Ontario, Canada, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He weighed in at an even 145 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 18 wins, no losses, 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated southpaw and world rank contender, introducing the undefeated Cody, the Crippler Crowley. And our third man to the ring, the referee in charge.
Now to give instructions,
Jerry Cantu.
You're giving your instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean, hard fight. You will obey my commands at all times and break when I say break. Touch him up. Good luck to both of you.
Cody Crowley, an interesting young man, has started his own promotional company to try to bring more boxing to Canada. Your native Canada, Lennox, and used to drive to Toronto to get sparring.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has to do it when they're in Canada because, you know, there's only a certain amount of boxers in Canada that you can spar with. And, you know, for me, I went to Detroit to do my sparring. He went all the way to Las Vegas, where a lot of people around the world always come. And that's like the mecca of boxing right now for anybody that wants to, you know, get out on boxing. There's a lot of boxers in Las Vegas from all over the world.
Round 1 scheduled for 10. You're right, Lennox. He said, you know, he had to drive, you know, to and from Toronto all the time to try to get sparring. He said in Las Vegas, you walk into a gym, say, hey, I'd like professional sparring. He said there's 10, 12 guys lined up for you. Who do you want, kid? Are ready to go.
I like how he came out in this fight, though. He's coming out meaning business. He's serious.
You better believe it. He landed a good jab, a good body shot with that left hand, and he's got, you know, Torres backing up right now. On the defense. You know,
got some nice dimensions too. He can jab to the head. He's jabbed to the body already several times. Looks like he's in fantastic condition. Joe, the sparring with Floyd Mayweather, 150 rounds. You're bound to mirror, get some mirror neurons from that, right? And pick up something that's just going to help you.
Well, if you don't, you missed out on a great opportunity because it's not often. You know, sparring is really one of the big keys of learning this game. If you don't have quality sparring, it's hard to up your game. These better fighters make you better when you spar with them. So I'm sure it had a very big impact on Crowley. And right now he looks physically bigger than Torres in there, and he just looks very strong right now, and he's a very aggressive man. So let's see how this turns out. And by the way, Torres can punch too. You know, he's a very good fighter. He's got 13 knockouts himself. So he has yet to land anything though, Right.
Nice combination there by Crowley on the way in. Yeah, Torres said he was given the nickname Pitbull by his amateur trainer, Richard Mirabal. And he said he never liked it. He said, but after a while, he'd walk into a gym and it was, hey, Pitbull. Right. So he just stuck with it. Now you see it on his trunks.
Yeah, and
minute to go here in round 1.
He's going to start acting like one pretty soon because right now it's all Crowley.
Yeah, Crowley's imposing himself on him right now, and he's throwing some good shots. You know, Crowley's throwing that great left hand to the body, which is supposed to, because not, shouldn't go out for the head straight away, should hit the body. Once he hits the body, he can hit the head.
You see the punches landed there in the left-hand corner, lower left, 10-5 from Crowley, and throwing some nice combinations. Said from Floyd Mayweather, what you learn really, left hand just missed there.
No, that was a good hit.
Outthinking his opponent. He said, like, using your brain. He said he was a Canadian brawler on the way up, and he said he learned how to be patient and think things through when he was sparring with Floyd.
You have to have some patience with him. That's how Floyd spars. He takes his time. He's in no hurry.
10 seconds. Stop the bell, gentlemen.
His defense is tight.
Nice right hook there by Crowley.
Time.
That is round number 1. Well, there's the Maple Leaf in all its splendor. 1988 Olympic gold medalist, Olympic champion, Lennox Lewis. Lennox, how big is boxing in Canada?
It's big. It's very big. Right now, it's kind of dropped off a bit. We need to put some more money into the amateurs in Canada, so these young kids can have a platform to box out of. But there's a lot of kids in Canada that want to box, and Crowley's doing the right thing by opening a promotional company, because it sets a platform for these young kids coming up. So I love that. And anytime he has a promotion down where he's from, Peterborough, I'll be down there to support him.
Oh, he'd love that. That's huge. You're the marquee attraction. Round number 2, Crowley in the red, I guess the burgundy and gold, and you can see Torres with the Torres on the back, the black trunks, black and silver. And Crowley again had about 5 promotional fights so far, 5 shows before the shutdown. But he wanted to build things up at Lennox for exactly what you're saying, try to get more opportunities for young fighters there, and just open up the avenues to show people what's possible in there. And he looks very good so far here tonight.
Yeah, he does. I mean, it's hard being a boxer from Canada because you don't really have so much help, and he's all the way in America trying to do his thing, and he's by himself. I know what that's like. It's lonely at the top.
Hey Joe, I have a feeling Lennox, at 6'6", 185, he was never quite at the bottom.
Right.
On the amateurs, right?
No, I would have somehow tried to avoid an actual head-on collision with him in football. That's for sure.
Hey, Josh Torres, by the way, has been sparring with Austin Trout to get ready for this fight. So, Joe, that's high-quality sparring as well.
No, it is. But, listen, Austin Trout has fought everybody and he knows every trick in the book. But now it falls upon, Torres to follow through and do something. And right now he's having a hard time really landing anything solid on Crowley. And Crowley's getting closer and closer with that right hook. He's been landing that left hand a little bit, but he's getting real close with that right hook.
Yeah, but Torres is quick. He's moving his head. He's not getting hit with no silly shots. But, he's waiting for that right opportunity. He needs to pick it up a little bit more. Right now he's sitting back on the back foot. He should be more offensive.
Good defensive work by both fighters there a moment ago, both slipping their shots on the way in. Crowley's still the aggressor. Torres tried as he jumped inside.
There you go.
Again, he has sparred not just Austin Trout now against big New Mexico fighter, Austin Trout, former world champion at 154 pounds, but he's also sparred in the past with Danny Garcia, Mighty Mike Alvarado, so some pretty good fighters in his past.
Yeah, and Alvarado, former champ, if you didn't mention that, but, man, that was a
good strafing left hand there by Crowley.
Yeah, Crowley.
Everything's working so far. Another left hand.
Crowley's left hand is really on point right now. He needs to throw it a lot more.
10 seconds. Stop the bell, gentlemen. 10 seconds.
Final seconds here in round number 2. Crowley starts to open it up and firing with a couple of nice left hands. The man out of Peterborough, Canada, now in Las Vegas. Take another look here, jumping in there, a little hook. But that didn't land, that one did. Really looking forward to Yordenis Ugas in our main event here tonight against Abel Ramos. Ramos off a last-second knockout, come from behind victory back in February in Nashville, which was over on Fox. Ugas is on a run the last 4 years. That is really the equal of anyone at 147 pounds. Lost extremely close to Sean Porter. Many thought he won that fight. I thought he won that fight. Joe Goosen, you called it. Who do you think won that fight?
That was so long ago, it was hard to remember exactly what
It's a pretty good fight, though, Joe, to search your memory banks.
No, it was a very close fight. Look, one judge had it 117, 111 for Ugas. The other one had it, I think, 116, 112 for Porter. And look, depending on that knockdown, that could have changed the course of the fight.
Yeah, absolutely did. Lennox, what about you? Was it a little more clear cut to you or no?
It was a close fight, and it really showed that Ugas belongs where he does, at the top with the rest of the guys.
How do you feel? In round number 3, again, Cody Crowley in the burgundy trunks, so with the gold, firing a shot there, a combination on Josh Torres, and he eats another shot as Crowley moves in effectively again.
Yeah, Torres is going to have to do something to really get the respect and attention of Crowley, and so far he's failed to do that going into this round here. He's going to have to do something a little bit drastic, land a good shot right on the chin or a great body shot to slow him down. Because right now Crowley's just, marching forward without, anything to really stop him from it.
And what I like about Crowley as well, I like his intensity. He's coming there and he's throwing combinations. This is what you need to do. Not wasting punches. Just every time he's throwing his combination, he's coming back with another combination.
Torres thought that Crowley was a bit one-dimensional, thought this was a step-up fight, and he thought, I'll be able to take advantage of that. I tell you what, Cody Crowley doesn't look one-dimensional. He's got several dimensions there in his game. It's a versatile, and Lennox, you're right, I like his vision as well. It just seems to be really taking in the information being offered by Torres.
Yes, I agree. He's got a good coach in the corner, too. Hasim Rahman's brother is training him.
Right there.
You mean the Hasim Rahman?
Yes.
Your old friend. You guys get along now, Lennox, right?
Oh, yeah, we get along. We're good friends. We're good.
Hasim Rahman took the title, and Lennox took it back forcefully. The right hand. Long right hand, the length of the ring, Joe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well,
seems to be.
That's not hard to believe, considering I've already mentioned he's got a hell of a reach on him here.
Keep you at bay. Keep you socially distant.
Right. But I think it's longer than 6 feet, though, that damn wingspan.
Yep.
So
a nice body shot there, and up top goes Crowley again. Nice shot. Just to mention that Joe and Lennox are there at the Microsoft Theater. I'm still out here on the East Coast. Nice uppercut by Crowley.
Hands up.
Oh. Crowley doing some work here toward the end of this round. Second half of this round has been very busy. And just in a good groove right now.
And the hook is starting to land now, Brian. Like 3 or 4 times in the last round.
Crowley very, very busy. We've talked about Yordenis Ugas. There he is right there, getting ready to go. He is on a tremendous run. We mentioned the fight with Sean Porter, and it was close. And I'll say it, I thought he beat Sean Porter. I did not expect that going in, and I thought that knockdown in the 12th round was a knockdown and not a slip. It was very close, and as Joe Goosen mentioned, the judges were all over the place. I think they agreed on just 2 rounds, so it just shows you how close everyone was. That was the right hand that hit Porter, and then Porter, maybe the foot went out from under him, maybe he slipped, but if not for the right hand, I don't think he goes down. It was ruled a slip, not a knockdown, and because of that, Sean Porter got a split decision win. If that was ruled a knockdown, it would have been a win for Ugas. Punches landed and thrown. Look, it was a firefight between both of them. Ugas said, look, there's no doubt about it. I was robbed tonight. A lot of people agree with him. What stood out to me, Joe, is just the way he was able to back up Sean Porter and just, plant his feet and say, let's go. That was impressive.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't think it was so much that he was backing up Sean Porter. Sean Porter had said after the fight that they made a concerted effort to back up and box at the last minute. So it was their decision to back up, and they changed their normal game plan just at the last minute. That's from the Porter's mouth, the father
Joe,
and son.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you got your hands up and you get hit and you go down, how is it a slip? There was some connection there.
Oh, we're going back to the fight then?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I didn't call it a slip. The referee did.
Okay.
So,
would you agree with the referee?
well, at the time, and I said this before, I said, upon further review, now there was a big wet spot in that corner. and the foot definitely went out from underneath him, and he got cuffed, you know, a little bit behind the ear there. But yeah, if you get hit with a punch and you go down, I, from the other corner, want that called as a knockdown. Okay?
Yeah, Lennox, I'm with you on that. I thought it was clearly a knockdown, although the way Sean's leg went out from under him at least put it into a referee's mind there.
That's
Cody
right.
Crowley goes to work. And so, you know, that, look, Jack Reese, and it's hard. It's like being a Major League umpire. You're going to catch everything at full speed. It's extremely difficult. And I think that's just one that, you know, say replay review would have been very helpful.
Yeah,
That's done in Las Vegas, by the way, but wasn't done for that fight.
Jack Reese is a great referee. He's been in a lot of controversy calls lately.
With Abel Ramos and Brian Perella, we'll look at that a little later on. Boy, look at the work rate here by Cody Crowley. I mean, I don't want to say it's sparring partner-like, but that's a guy who's like, hey, I'm going to get into a groove here, get locked in, and just throw a ton of shots. He's thrown nearly 300 punches so far, and we're still halfway through round 4.
I agree 100%. He's landing body shots, short left hands, short right hooks. He's closed the gap now. He's got, Torres sitting there on the ropes, not moving a lot, which is what he's going to have to do to survive this fight. And he's now starting to take a beating on the ropes here. And it just looks, Crowley just looks so strong right now, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing the right thing. I love the clean-up right hook where he throws after every combination. You can always depend on that clean-up right hook.
Trying to move on the inside, little body shot there with an uppercut, comes back, there's the right hook, and another right hook again. Lennox, you're right, third right hook, now that we're looking for it. A little clean right jab, body shot, combination to the head, just constant work by Crowley. Body shot, that hurt Torres, that backed him up. Lands another hook. He is efficient, effective, his work rate is tremendous. Final seconds here, round number 4. We mentioned Abel Ramos. He got into this fight with Yordenis Ugas with a last second, and I mean literally a last second win in his last fight against Brian Perella. So Abel Ramos will go into his dressing room getting taped up right now. Let's go back. February 15th of this year and the 10th and final round.
We've got a flight cut on his right eye and the punch.
Oh! Ramos puts him down! Uppercut out of nowhere! And he is close to a knockout here. Perella does not look good in survival mode. He is wobbly on his feet, and he goes down again from a right hand. He could make it just with this count. It's over! Only a few seconds left!
Oh, no!
Out of nowhere!
Oh!
Wow, well, we were stunned by that. We called that back in February. And Brian Kenny here, and I was calling that with Lennox and Joe. And Lennox, I felt the same way. I thought, oh no, he just needed 1 second. But that was Jack Reese once again to defend Jack Reese there. It is not his job to know how much time is left. His job is the safety of the fighter.
No, that's true. I was saying, because I felt for the fighter. I felt like, yo, you lost that fight in 3 seconds. How bad, you know? I would hate that if that was in my situation.
Yeah, and if you watched Perella take that sidewalk, which now all the referees are making the fighters do after they get up, they have them do a little lateral walk. And he did. He stumbled along the way. And
yeah, but you're allowed to stumble.
Well,
I mean, you're boxing the fight,
wait a minute,
and then all of a sudden a referee asks you to walk, and you stumble. Okay, you should have made him walk back.
But Lennox, why is he stumbling? And he was knocked down twice already. He was getting really hurt. The referee doesn't have to keep time. He's not the timekeeper. And if he feels his life is in danger by letting him go one more punch, and one more punch can turn into a bad situation, I think Jack Reese did the right thing there, no matter how much time was left.
No, I'm not saying he did the wrong thing. I said I would have hated to lose at 3 seconds.
Well, you'd hate to lose with 3 minutes, 3 seconds, 3 hours. It doesn't matter. You hate to lose.
No, you know what? I think, Joe, if I may, Joe.
Yeah, go ahead.
What Lennox was trying to say was, right, like Jack Reese in that instance, but I don't like, hey, walk this way, now walk that way, now jump on 1 foot and cluck like a chicken. What do they want out of a guy? Like, take a step toward me. How about take a step toward me, Joe?
Hey, listen, I love the old style. I mean, I love that. idea. And especially if you're in the corner of the guy that's doing the knocking down, you're giving that other guy that just got knocked down an extra 3-4 seconds by doing that extra testing. I get it. I don't like it either. But you know what? There's a big safety issue here, and I'm all for the safety. And I don't make the rules.
And ultimately, Jack Reese was not his job to say how much time is left here. Let's get to Marcos Villegas and get in the middle of this one. Crowley really doing some great work, Marcos. How do you have it?
Yeah, so far it's been all him throughout these 4 rounds, and even in this round. You know, he's shown a perfect example of how it is to be a ring general and be effective in there. He's coming forward. He's landing not only good punches, but effective punches, jabs, straights, punches to the body. It's been all him so far at this point.
Marcos, thank you. Yeah, and there were some thudding body shots as I just threw it to Marcos there on Torres. And Torres is just being slowed down and beaten down. He got a nice shot in there with his right hand, snaked that in. Able to fire back now. And a good fortitude there by Torres. Fires back with a straight right hand.
And Torres landed a few body shots before that series of right hands that you were calling right there, Bri. So I just don't think there's enough zip on it to really, make Crowley back up or stop or change his tactics here.
Plus, Crowley said in the fighters meeting that he's never going to back up. He's always going to come forward, and that's what he's doing right now.
And Crowley has lived up to his word. He's just looked terrific here, winning every single round. Cody Crowley averaging 88 punches thrown per round, Lennox, and just doing fantastic work here.
Oh, absolutely. He's throwing volumes of punches, and, he's got the guy up against the ropes, and, he does what he does, what he wants to do. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to throw a lot of punches. He wants to throw combos, and he's throwing that great right hook, clean-up hook I love.
Moved to Las Vegas when he was 21, said once again that, hey, I've got a 10-year plan to be a world champion, and so now he's 6 years into it. And just nice, I would say his progression seems to be right on time there, Joe, even though, again, known mostly as a sparring partner, seems like a guy who could emerge.
Well, a 10-year plan's a long plan,
Joe, you got a 10-year plan in you?
Right. Usually that could be a career in this game. So, he's in his 6th year. He should be, I think, look, at this stage of the game, he's going to be a top 10 fighter. He's going to be able to, I'm sure, get involved in the championship fight somewhere in the next year and a half. I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah, no, it looks like that level of skill and poise too. Joe, what do you think of as far as just his ability to stay balanced, calm, use his energy, all of that?
No, look, you can tell he's actually, a very well-schooled fighter. He's doing all the right things. He's putting in the short shots when he's on the inside. He's hitting you from every angle he can. When he's just right there, like when he stepped back, a half step back with a hook, and now he's long left hand. So he's got the range. He can punch in close, he can punch from a distance, and he's landing. He's got a great variety of punches.
Joe is good. He's also cutting off the ring. He's not making it easy for Torres to move around the ring too much. He's catching him, stepping over like he's supposed to.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good things he's doing.
Oh, great body shot.
Hard body shot there. That really slowed up Torres along the ropes. Just able to plant it in there. As Crowley is just showing an outstanding engine here, coming in top shape. It's something that, to allude to something Lennox had mentioned in the last round, he says, boy, everybody walks in, says, we're going to back this guy up, we're going to hurt this guy. And he said, by the second round, I'm the guy moving forward.
Yeah.
He said, everyone thinks they're going to push me around, nobody pushes me around, and I think he's making a pretty good, case for himself here tonight.
Yeah, look, if I was in the corner of Torres, and if this this fight continues to steamroll against him, which it is right now, because he's got another 4 rounds left here, I'd keep a close eye on it, because right now Crowley is really, when he gets in close, he's landing everything he wants. And you see the effects of the body shots right now on Torres.
Joe, and you're right. And you have to, if you're in his corner and you care about the guy, you think, is he winning any rounds? And then you think, can he knock this guy out? Can he come back? And it's looking less and less likely. I think it's a good point.
No, and yes.
Torres is making a movement like he hurt his right hand or something, because he's not really throwing it with any effect. He's just kind of whipping it out there, but we're gonna have to see.
And when we looked at tapes of Torres, Lennox, see that nice right hand he just threw? That's his best punch, is his right hand.
Yeah, he hasn't been throwing a lot of them, but I would love to see a lot more.
He just took one there. I see exactly what you mean, Lennox. He just shook that out, kind of shook out that hand, trying to get it loose.
Exactly.
Combination, firing off the ropes to end the round.
Guilty pleasures, I love chips, man, hot Cheetos, all that stuff.
My wife is a baker, so I love her cakes, her cupcakes, and all of her cake pops.
Donuts, cookies, you name it. Anything that's sweet that a fighter's not supposed to eat, I'm eating it. Ice cream, pizza, pie, donuts. After one of my fights, I counted just in donuts alone post-fight week, 87 donuts in 1 week. So I would say, yeah, one of my dirty little secrets is I like to binge eat on food.
That's a lot of donuts, boy. Joe, initially I thought, how does he make weight? But he said post-fight. I didn't realize that. So,
Yeah.
so he's got a donut binge coming his way after this fight.
Yeah, it's that's 10 a day at least, right?
Lennox, now you were in the unlimited weight class, but you didn't eat like that, did you?
No, I didn't eat 10 donuts, at least 20.
This guy's 147 pounds. Again, Cody Crowley there in the burgundy and the gold has looked terrific here tonight. Round 7, scheduled for 10, and Josh Torres, the pit bull, has just been beaten down, making a game effort. Again, this is a guy who trained under Johnny Tapia. He was his trainer for 2 years toward the end of his life. Tapia, one of the all-time greats. And Torres just holds Tapia in the highest regard, eats a left hand there again, but he's going to have to show real grit just to stay in this fight.
Yeah, he's starting to get hit with double, triple right hooks right now, body shots, straight left hands. Look, I mean, it's not beyond the referee, Jerry Cantu, to step in at a certain point if this keeps going on like this.
Yeah.
And Torres has never been stopped, but it looks like it's getting close. Heidi Androl is standing by ringside. Heidi, what do we have?
I was just speaking to Alfred Torres, Josh Torres' father, who's in the corner. He said that the right hand is just fine. In fact, it was the left hand a little bit earlier. He had a pinched nerve, but that's better now. Brian?
Okay, we were looking at his right hand before. And you see, look, there's a mark over his right eye. I mean, just from an accumulation of punishment. And Crowley is not just doing the damage there. He's doing it to the body, head, everywhere.
Yeah, he is. I'm not sure the pit bull is going to be able to take too much of this, but he's absorbing a lot of punches.
Crowley just continues to throw. Again, his work rate is tremendous. He's landed at least 20 punches in every round after the first. Torres has landed more than 20 just once, and Crowley doesn't seem to be slowing down. Torres trying to back him up there, throws a body shot, but then a right hand comes across. Crowley lands again.
Yeah, Torres is he's kind of throwing just to throw punches right now. They just don't have any zip on him. And he's kind of lucky that Crowley's really got a 50% knockout ratio, because if Crowley was a little bit bigger puncher, Torres may not be here right now. This fight might be already over. So
it doesn't quite, doesn't have the explosive power, Joe, even though it's a good hard thudding shot. His frame is strong.
Yeah.
He's able to back Torres up, but not the type of pop that'll take you off your feet.
No, but you can learn to improve your punching power, and I'm sure along the way, on his 10-year plan, he's going to figure out a few more ways to punch harder.
And we're going to stay here between rounds, and once again, as Heidi mentioned, Alfred Torres, Josh's father, is in the corner, and we're going to wonder now, as a father is in the corner, just how much more of this he'd like to see. Let's go to the corner right now.
Yes, sir. Are you sure? I'm going to give you one more round, son. I'm going to give you one more round, okay? One more round. I'm giving you one more round. You got to show me something, son. I'm not going to let you do this. Okay? You got to come to fight. Okay? You got to start keeping your hands up. Okay? This is the last thing I want to do.
I know.
You know what I mean? Here, hold this. It's the last thing I want to do.
Put in the head,
huh? I know he did. That ref's got to do his job. But that's... give me a towel. But that's not the thing is you got to do something now. Okay? This is your last round. Okay? You got to show me.
Well, you don't have to be his father to want to stop this fight, but you can hear the concern there, saying, do you want to continue? I'll give you one more round, and then I'm stopping it, because you can see Cody Crowley is just, laying the wood to him.
Well, like I said earlier in that round, I said Jerry Cantu. He was over there in the corner looking. The father had the same concern. They're both concerned about it, and if he doesn't do something this round, they should stop it.
Right.
Yeah, it's a situation where you come into a fight and the other guy, your opponent, is one step ahead of you. One step quicker, and you just can't get that second gear going.
Well put, Lennox. You're right. Kind of describes it very aptly, because then you see, Crowley just a little better in every facet of the game, and you don't need to see a guy. Torres, you can see, is the type of kid that will be his own worst enemy. He's not going out easy. He's not going to lay down, but you don't need the guy to get his head battered in here in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, and Crowley right now, I'm sure he would like to up that knockout percentage, and if he keeps pressing like he has the last few rounds, he's got a great shot at either stopping him during the round or definitely at the end of the round if Torres doesn't do something explosive, which doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, no, and Crowley said that he's learned a lot, sparring with Floyd Mayweather, and this is part of it, learning how to break down somebody. And you can tell that's what he's doing. He's thinking in there, what should I do? But he's also doing a lot of work. So.
Stop blocking the break. Good job,
Just
man.
the piped-in noise, you could hear the leather landing there pretty clearly, and Crowley able to land just on a regular basis.
And in all fairness, Torres did get in a sneaky little right hand a few seconds ago, I should say.
Now he's game, Joe. There's no question. Tough kid. There's no question. This guy, out of Albuquerque, trained under Johnny Tapia. He's going to have to get drilled to go down. And maybe he doesn't go down, but again, discretion is the better part of valor, especially with his father in the corner.
Agreed.
And, I just don't know, Joe. I always ask you, what would you tell him in the corner? Can you give him anything that might change it?
No, not at this point. Really, you really couldn't, because he doesn't have the zip on his punch. He doesn't. He just is being overwhelmed by the other guy. I mean, you've always got a shot at something kooky happening. I just don't see it here. And I would be saying what his father said. Look, if I don't see something extraordinary come from you, I'm stopping this fight. There's no reason for you to take any more punches than you have to.
Final 30 seconds here of round 8. Now we wonder what's going to happen between rounds, because I don't think Torres has shown anything different, has he?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't shown anything different. He still hasn't gone into a second gear yet. He's not getting hit, but he's not doing anything positive to really show that he wants to stay in this fight.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And we're going to stay right here too, and we'll see what they say in his corner. We'll stick here rather than going to a break. Nice right hand.
Exactly.
Able to maybe pull it out of the fire. Now I wonder if that will change things. Let's listen in the corner as he goes back to his father.
I know, son. You're taking a lot of shots, son. You're taking a lot of shots. Huh?
He'll make me jab that round. Rick.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hit that round.
I'm gonna
What is this, 10?
Let's go. No, this is 10. Last round. Last round.
Good.
Okay.
Hey, I'm trying.
You gotta do something, son. Okay. You gotta pull it. You gotta pull it up. You gotta dig deep. You gotta keep them hands up. Okay. You gotta keep them hands up. Okay. Okay. Huh?
Looks like they're going to stay with it.
Yeah, let me tell you, this is a hard decision right now.
Yes.
You got a boxer in there that wants to fight, and you have his father in there watching him get hit. It's hard.
You start working.
And as we said at the end, just when it looked like, hey, you know what, maybe this fight should stop. Bang! With the right hand.
Right.
Of course, he eats one as well. Eats two on the
Right.
way out.
Yeah, no, listen, that's why they call him the pit bull. A fighter never wants to quit. Not great fighters. And this kid's he aspires to be great. And he doesn't want to sit down on the stool and quit. So.
And he also thought, though, Joe, I want to point out, they thought, hey, is this the last round? It's not the last round. It's got 2 more rounds.
That's right. But in a fighter's mind, sometimes even when they're getting soundly beat but not hurt, dropped, wobbled, they'll go, hey, you know what? I'd rather make the distance than get stopped on my stool. So, I think the pit bull would rather fight this one out through the next 2 rounds here and let it go to a decision.
Let me tell you.
And that's his job. That's his job as a professional.
That's right.
It's his corner's job or the referee's job to eventually see, we need to stop here now. Lennox, would you want to see this stopped, or are you a little bit shy of that right now?
I'm kind of shy of that because he's done so much work in training camp. He's thought about this fight for how many weeks and months, and all of a sudden come here and have it stopped. He'll rather go out on his shield. I mean, most boxers want to go out on his shield, and he's not really getting hit too much. Again, I think it motivated him when his father said, "I'm going to stop it."
Right.
And I think that's a great thing for motivating any athlete.
And
tell them you're going to stop it, and that's what happens.
In all fairness, too, look, Crowley has slowed down for some strange reason in the 8th and 9th round. He had a great 7th round, was on the verge of being stopped by the corner for the referee, and the 8th round he took his foot off the gas, landed a good combination at the end of the round, but even this round he's not putting a full court press on. So,
right, which he was earlier, Joe.
Yeah.
You're right. Round after round, looked like I just was saying, like his engine is terrific, and he slowed up just a bit to keep Torres in this fight. He's still winning all of these rounds, and he's out-connected Torres 2-1, but not quite 5th gear, which we saw for so many rounds.
That's right.
So,
Marcos, let me ask you, do you give Torres any rounds here so far?
No, not at this point, no. It's just not enough coming from him to be able to swing these rounds in his favor, or at least make me double think if he's going to win a round or not. It's just the volume's not there from him, and then also, you know, like you guys have mentioned, he'll land 1, and then Crowley will come back and land 2, 3, 4. It's just outworking him at this point in the fight.
Marcos Villegas doing unofficial scoring for us. He does an excellent job. Marcos, thank you. By the way, headshots landed according to CopyBox, 173 to 53. I mean, that's so it's better than 3-1 with the headshots.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. You know, it looks. I would agree with that because that's been apparent throughout the whole fight. It's been Crowley landing all the big shots, and ooh, nice little counter by the Pitbull there. They're far and few between, that's for sure, Brian.
Yeah, when you're Crowley like this, you gotta step it up. You gotta try and knock out your opponent.
That's right. And it looks like Torres is going to survive this round, and if he gets through this round, you would figure, all right, one more. You figured they would do it. He said that he thought that Chapman, you know, buzzed the tower shot earlier in the week. That the ball just got loose. He didn't mean to throw it at anybody. The Rays didn't think so.
Weren't both teams admitting they've been throwing at each other for like the past 3 years?
Oh yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Of course. And it always just gets away. It just gets away. What do you want from me?
Hey, there's one thing I found out about the top athletes in any sport. Everything they do is for it's not by accident, okay?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Round number 10, final round here between Cody Crowley, undefeated fighter out of Canada, 18-0. Looking to climb up into the top of the upper echelon of the welterweight division. And again, that is takes some doing. There's so many good fighters, just even at the fringe of the top 10. But Crowley making an excellent case for himself here tonight against Josh Torres in the black trunks.
Good right hook by Crowley. He's throwing that right hook nice. I love it. What would you be telling him, Joe?
Well, he's got, look, I would have been telling him 3 rounds ago. I said you had him basically on the verge of having him stopped at the end of 7. If I would have seen him go out there in the 8th round and just kind of take his foot off the gas, I would have been hustling him. I go, look, we need knockouts on your records. This guy's ready to go. They're ready to stop the fight. Why are you just slowing down right now? So I would have been on it. You know, I would have been on it pushing my guy, for sure.
Crowley jumps in there and able to answer again, punctuating with that headshot. And something you mentioned earlier, Lennox, like the cleanup hook, that he'll throw a right hook, he'll throw a left hook, but seems to go to the body and then just ends to the head every time. And those are the shots that just keep on landing.
Yes.
Good jab as well by Crowley.
And he keeps the pressure on you. He's right in front of your face. He wants to fight. I mean, he throws volumes of punches. That means he's spending a lot of time in the gym, a lot of time training.
He says growing up in Peterborough, Canada, you're either born with hockey skates on or a lacrosse stick in your hands. But he chose to get into boxing, won the key to the city. So he is a big star back home in Canada, trying to fulfill his dreams while training in Las Vegas.
Here's a question for you, Joe.
Yeah.
If you spar a lot, and then all of a sudden when you go into your fights, does that affect you being a fighter?
If you spar a lot and are getting your rear end kick, yeah, it'll affect you. But if you're sparring a lot, it's like playing a lot of baseball or anything else. If it's going your way, that's a confidence builder and it's fun. if it's not going your way, it's not a confidence builder, and it ain't too much fun in boxing. So yeah,
Lennox,
if it's going well.
let me throw that to Lennox. What do you think about that, Lennox? About what, a sparring partner mentality, or a guy who it raises to the next level? What do you think? What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, what Joe was saying, if you're getting beat as a sparring partner and you're a sparring partner and somebody's just beating you up all the time, then when you get into a fight, you're going to get that sparring mentality.
That's right.
Just a survival mentality. You're in here to survive. You're not in here to really win. And with Cody, you know, he has to be more aggressive, trying to not take these guys out. He's beating them with volume punches, now he's got to beat them with power punches.
100%.
Right. Good point, Lennox. And meantime, though, Crowley has been the boss from the start.
Yep.
Came in, was firing. Torres had a lot of spunk early on, but Crowley just went out and seemingly won every single round in this fight. Outstanding performance by the undefeated Cody Crowley out of Canada. And it looks like he's going to get to 90-0 and continue on his 10-year plan.
Yes. Canada, support this man.
Good work there. The donut's awake, one would figure. He wants to binge, but he looks strong. And again, with all of those outstanding welterweights, you wonder where Crowley can fit in. He continues to rise, and this was impressive against a rugged guy in Josh Torres, 22-6, but really took care of business. Cody Crowley is looking to move up in the welterweight division. And Lennox Lewis, Joe Goosen, he went to work right away and just kept up pressure on against Josh Torres.
Yeah, I mean, it was an excellent performance. I think Crowley's going to go back and look at this tape, and he's going to see that he could have done a few more things to make, to stop Torres. Because you remember, the competition is going to get better for Crowley as he goes along, and he's got to learn how to stop guys like this, and he's got to work on his power. A little bit more power he needs.
Yeah, I agree with Joe. You know, he threw great punches, but he's got to work on that left hand a little bit better. Some good power behind it.
Let's see if he threw a shutout. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon.
Well, fans, after 10 rounds of action here at the Microsoft Theater, we go to the scorecards. The judges are in agreement. All three scored about the same, 100-90. All three in favor of the winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated, Cody, the Crippler Crowley.
Cody Crowley says, I'm told I'll be backed up. It's yet to happen. A shutout in Los Angeles tonight. We'll hear from him and Heidi Angel when we come back. Back here in Los Angeles, Cody Crowley with a unanimous decision and gets a shutout on Josh Torres. Let's go to Heidi Angel, who's there with the winner. Heidi?
Thank you very much, Brian. Congratulations to you, Cody. You know, we saw your arsenal and the variety of punches that you have in it. How would you assess your performance here tonight?
I'll give myself a C performance tonight. I'm always expecting a guy to come in and fight with me. You know, I'm one of those fighters that don't have the punch and power, but I have this relentless pace that fighters can't keep up with. And normally after the first, second round, they go into this retreat mode. And it makes it very difficult for me to set up the shots I want. Always reaching. They're bracing for the shots. So I'm just waiting for the day where a fighter comes in there, meets me in the center of the ring, and we're fighting in a phone booth, rock and robots. Wow. I know the fans at home, they've been bored. They've been stuck in their houses, and they've been missing sports, and I wanted to bring them a show tonight. I wanted it to be nonstop action from round 1 to round 10. I tried my best, but in this sport, you can only take what's there. And I listened to my coach. I tried to stay very patient. A couple times I would throw some shots, but I was just taking what's there.
You did a great job here tonight. The guys were impressed with your performance.